isolate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to proper solutions that will benefit humanity. And today on Society Watch, we have a number of issues overlooking at first on impersonation, police nab, fake CP, a lawyer, others in Lagos State. And still from Lagos State, government orders Badagry Expressway roadside traders to vacate. And from FUNAB, varsity cautions students against anti-dress code protests. And from 4-year, federal government directs security agencies to probe death of students. And lastly, from Niger State, FUT students protest over killing of students by truck. And these are the issues we're looking at today on Society Watch. Our guest for today is the editor of Robo Voice, a newspaper. I'll be introducing him to you shortly after this break. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Society Watching Atlantic Television Network, and our guest for today is the editor of Robo Voice newspaper. Good luck at Dafe. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's look at our first issue on impersonation. A fake commissioner of police, a fake lawyer, and 10 other suspected criminals have been arrested by the police in Lagos State in the last few days. The fake lawyer, however, claimed that he was given the fake ID card and police singlet by some policemen to guide a hotel where he was working. The suspects were paraded before newsmen on Monday by the image maker in charge of the State Police Command, Benjamin Hundeyin, on behalf of the State Commissioner of Police, Idowu Owuhonwa. The fake Commissioner of Police was identified as Emmanuel Nwagu, while the fake lawyer was identified as Ibrahim Bello, who then told newsmen that on September 2nd at about 4:40 p.m., the suspect visited the police premises and introduced himself as a commissioner of police. Immediately he introduced himself as a commissioner of police. The officers at the command fully regarded him as such. But upon questioning, he was discovered to be an impersonator. The Lagos police image maker also stated that he was immediately arrested and a search was conducted at his abode. a Deputy Commissioner of Police warrant card, an Assistant Commissioner of Police warrant card, a Kenwood walkie-talkie, a police camouflage singlet, and a face cap were recovered from him. Investigation has revealed that he had been doing it for a long time, and only God knows how many people he has duped with such a fake identity. Hune also stated that we are happy that he has been arrested, and from today's briefing on, he will be arraigned in court. The fake police CP told newsmen, "It's true, I am not a policeman. The Commissioner of Police identity card was given to me by the Rapid Response Squad operatives who came to guard the hotel where I was working. I was the only one the ID card was given to. The RSS operatives gave it to me so that whenever the police wanted to harass me, I should show it to them. The police t-shirt was also given to me to wear. A police cap was given to me, and now I'm really concerned because the Rapid Response Squad is like a unit of the Nigerian police force. They understand the rudiments. They understand the rules of engagement. Now, this is an ordinary security man in a hotel. And for whatever reasons, whatever negotiations they had, they gave police ID cards. In fact, that's of a commissioner of police, not just any, maybe a sergeant, a corporal or something. That's of a commissioner of police to a non-officer. And he has been parading in that office. What is your take?
Well, I'm not surprised. Frankly speaking, I am not surprised. When you hear stories like this, it tells you the level with which the Nigerian citizens, the level of disrespect they have for this country. Otherwise, a serving police officer, ordinarily, like you said, they're supposed to know the rule of engagement. They're supposed to know the implication when somebody impersonates an office and you still go ahead deliberately to give the official ID card to somebody who is not part of the organization. It tells you the level of disrespect, the level to which Nigerians don't believe in their society. Nothing they happen is the bottom line. We can't do anything and go away with it. So that is what I'm taking from this, that the men, the citizens of this country don't believe in their country and they have no honor for their country. Otherwise, in a normal society, citizens who believe in their country, you don't sell your country in this manner. This is what we call selling a country. Somebody who is not a policeman. It's not just, like you said, not an ordinary police officer, not a recruit, a CP, for that matter. And that means that there were many commissioners of police in Lagos State. The one we know on TV, the one we know on paper, and the ones we do not know. There are very many. But let me shock you. Why I say I'm not surprised about this, that you have fake lawyers, you have fake police. Do you know we have fake men of God in this country? Are you aware that we have fake, more than 80% of people who parade themselves as men of God, they are fake in this country. But if I say this now, somebody will say I'm judging. But if we are talking of a police officer, I am not judging. If you are talking of fake lawyer, I am not judging. But the moment you go to the realm of men of God, somebody don't judge. You are not the God to judge him. That is the kind of society we have. But I am telling you, any man who is not genuine in whatever that he is doing, whatever that you are carrying, if you say you are a man of God, you say God call you, and you know very well God did not call you, you are a fake. You are a fake. So this man is not a policeman, and he's carrying the police ID card. Is that why he's a fake? He's a fake. The lawyer is not a lawyer. He was not trained for it. He was not called to bar. He's parading himself as a lawyer. He's fake.
Now, this is it's very unfortunate that we get to see these every now and then in the society. Now, you talked about having respect for one's nation, and I totally agree that it shows the level to which we respect our nation. But if you also look at it, we know very well, because I want to believe that anyone that is doing anything illegal has something somewhere inside of him that will say, well, this is actually wrong, but then you still believe that you want to do this. Now, you know very well that it is wrong. You know you are not a police officer in the first place. You are not a lawyer, but you are parading as one and maybe enjoying the benefits that comes with that office, because people would see you as such. I mean, he went to, imagine going to a police station to introduce yourself as a CP when you are not one. Yes. And they accepted him as such until investigations and revealed that he was not. Now, the truth is, people do not have respect for this nation. Now, what exactly is responsible for that?
Well, when you talk about respect for a nation, it's holistic. Those in government, the ordinary citizens, and those manning the various institutions in the society. If government fails to do what it's supposed to do, the citizen will lose respect for the government. If the citizens of a country believe that a government is illegitimate, no matter how you put it, no matter how it looks like, no matter how you carry yourself, once the people of a country believe that a government is illegitimate, whether in a local government, whether in a state, whether in a country, you embolden the citizens to disrespect the values and laws of the society. Look at the temerity, the courage. A lawyer who is fake, he will go to a police institution. Is the belief that in this country, anything can happen. Anything can, even if you are arrested, no, with money, with naira and kobo, you can sort your way out. That's just the belief of the people. And again, because people must feed. Your citizens must eat. There's a video I saw yesterday. Those who are struggling for palliative, I don't know whether you've seen that video. If you see the way people rise, the rice were poured the ground, and people were packing rice from the ground. Citizens of Nigeria, citizens of Nigeria, the giant of Africa. So in such a situation, people can fabricate anything just to make a living, because they believe that those in government, they are also doing whatever they are doing in order to earn a living. So what the responsibility, as you are saying, is on all fronts. The police officer must carry himself as one serving a society. And like I wrote in one of my articles yesterday, is that any person, whether you are a judge, whether you are a police officer, whether you are a governor, whether you are a president, you do not have any physical or spiritual divine advantage over any other Nigerians. The honor and the respect that society gives to you is the one given to you by the Nigerian state. So you don't have to abuse it. Because the moment you abuse that privilege, you have a body society to kill values, to find ways of feeding themselves, how they can also make a living. And that is why people are creating new avenues. Look at what also happened to this CP here in River State. Yeah? The level of, I don't care, the level of, the hardness of heart is on people. Somebody gave me this dog fowl some time ago that used it to just appreciate me for something. I didn't kill the dog fowl. I asked my wife to kill the dog fowl. My wife said, you cannot kill it. He said, I should kill it. I said, but I cannot kill the dog fowl. My wife said, if I cannot kill it, then she too cannot kill it. Put the knife in the neck of a dog fowl. I can do that. So at the end of the day, my neighbor said, if you cannot kill this, then let me carry it now. They carry the dog fowl. I think they gave me 2,000 naira for that. Because we could not kill the dog fowl, very big, mighty dog fowl. In that scenario, somebody can kill a fellow human being. Kill, not just killing the person, you put a knife in his throat. You see the level. Why is it so? Because we have reduced our society. Those who are in the court are not doing it the way it is expected that they should do it. the policemen themselves are not doing this duty the way they should do it. Otherwise, for you to do this kind of a thing in America or UK, you kill a policeman, that was not sufficient for you. You carry cutlass and begin to butcher him like you are butchering a meat. So, because here we have reduced everything to Naira and Kobo. So beyond Naira and Kobo, nobody has any respect for anything. So that is why you see this kind of a thing happening with this kind of level of impunity in our society. People just believe that they can, hey, nothing they happen. You know, and of course, some of them have some big men up there who are their backbones. So for us, this is telling us that we need to rejig our society. The man in government must know why he is in government. Don't leave your citizens to struggle life in their own way. When you leave your citizens to struggle life in their own way, things like this will continue to happen. Because they must feed. Their children must go to school. So somebody can just wear the wig and be a judge in a court. I will begin to go to that court. But let it not degenerate to that level.
Really. It's very funny and pathetic. Now, these men have been arrested by the Nigerian police force, and I am worried about the RSS, talking about the Rapid Response Squad officers who gave out their own means of identities to total strangers who are not members of the Nigerian police force. Would you say that they should be served the same level of punishment?
But in law, that's the way it is now. There's what we call accomplice in law. They are collaborators. Otherwise, for you to do that, you've desecrated the institution that you belong to. How would you just, like you work here? I don't work here. You give me an ID card that I'm the manager in this place. So wherever I go to, I say I'm the manager at Atlantic. Maybe you did not even just do it on a facial appearance. Maybe there was some benefit I'm giving to you using that ID card. So you are a collaborator, you are an accomplice.
But you know that the modus operandi when it comes to punishing police officers is quite different from that of members of the society.
No, punishing a police officer, they have what they call their orderly room trial and all that. Orderly room trial simply means whether you still fit to belong to this association or organization. When they carry that one out, and they discover that your act violates your rule of engagement, and they pull you out. Then when they pull you out, then you now face the consequence, like the ordinary man outside. You understand? So before they take you to the court, or take you to anywhere they want to prosecute you, they must first of all naked you that you are no longer a police officer. They pull off all your garments that you are wearing as an officer. They detach you, so you can face whatever that is due to you.
It's very funny and pathetic at the same time. But like the saying goes, 99 days for the thief and 1 day is for the owner. If you are impersonating anyone, just know that there is a 1 day for the owner, and that day is coming pretty soon. It's a good thing that these men have been arrested, and we hope that the law will take its full course. Let's look at our next issues, still from Lagos State. The Lagos State government on Monday issued a quick notice to roadside traders to vacate the Badagry Expressway. Jibril Gawat, a media aide to the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, disclosed this in a statement on X that the Permanent Secretary, Office of Infrastructure, Engineer Olufemi Daramola, issued the quick notice. It disclosed that Daramola has also warned people against under bridges and other illegal occupants on Badagry Expressway. In order to ensure the sustainability of the recently constructed sections of the Lagos-Badagry Expressway corridor and avoid compromise of the integrity of the bridges, the Lagos State government has unveiled plans to address the tremendous abuse noticed at various points along the corridor, leading to severe degradation, Daramola said. He added that Engineer Daramola issued a quick notice while speaking during a sensitization and advocacy campaign aimed at promoting the required attitudinal change, as well as encouraging residents and commuters to take ownership of the project. Now, we are not new to the fact that the bridges have become home for some people, and much more than that, the issue of street trading is becoming a norm in the society. We have regular markets built by the government. We have a whole lot of makeshift markets in certain locations where people sell. But we still find out that people derive so much pleasure and satisfaction from trading by the roadside. Even though we know that is a risk, but people still indulge in it. Now, the government is saying, well, you have been ordered to vacate the streets, the roads, the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. What did you take on that?
Well, as I have mentioned, people must eat. Your citizens must feed. And until government come to face its social responsibility, there is a contract where you say you are a governor. You're not a governor to serve yourself, to drive big cars. That's not what makes you to be a governor. The people voted for you. It's what we call social contracts that you sign with the people. By voting for you, you will do my need. You will do the need of Mr. A, you will do the need of Mr. B. As government come up to realize that I have a contract with these ordinary people. I am not supporting street trading. I'm one person who hates so much. Each time I see them at that Rumekini houses, you can see the level of go-slow they cause there sometimes, especially in the evening. I don't support it. In Rumokoro, the same thing, all parts of Port Harcourt. But government has not been sincere in addressing the issue affecting the people. Some of these families, they have up to 3, 4, 5 children. And they don't, every month, they don't have a salary from anywhere, say 20,000 naira, they don't have. So, you have some market somewhere. You need about 100 or something thousand for somebody to take the store. Where would that person get the money to take the store? It's one of the reasons they give to you. They tell you the government stores are too expensive and all that. And the government has not come down to really look at the issues affecting the people. How do I really solve the problem of these people? Government has not come down. Government has always been like a big man up there. From the big upstairs there, you are looking at the people down there. That's not how to govern the people. The government must come down to the nada of the people. They are the people you are governing. They are the people you are presiding over. You cannot sit in a mountain and from there be shouting to the people. You must come to understand the issues bothering the people.
Now, so, if we would take this excuse of the government market stores are really, really expensive and maybe outside of their reach, we know also that away from the major markets, there are other smaller markets where people can also fit in and trade. But irrespective of that, is that a justifiable reason to be on the streets? Because that seems more like Lagos State government will always say, it is defacing the city.
I agree with you. But for you to achieve this point you are making, where you say justifiable, where you're talking about justices and all that, you are talking about moral society. Is it really good for me to do my business on this road? Or people asking that kind of question? Do we have people asking that kind of question in Nigeria? Where you begin to ask questions of morals. Do we have it here? Until we tell ourselves the truth. Those in government, do they tell themselves the truth? Say do they treat issues of morals, that what we are doing in government, is it really moral? I'm not here to lambast government. That's not my aim here. But what I'm telling you, we must place the entire, as we blame the people, we must also blame the government. Like that remaking now, for example, they have been there over the years. Government several times has tried to pull them out of that place. But has there been any place government has provided, okay, all of you come down here. Now, government has provided a place for them, and you still see one or two on the road. Then you deal with them decisively. That is governance. That is governance. Governor cannot be by what do you do? Where did this grammar? There's one grammar we use there. You know, you. Otherwise, government has not been sincere. That's just the truth of the matter. Otherwise, for me, if you are in a government, you are in a government for a purpose. Do what you're supposed to do for ABC. And having done that, ABC violate you. The law is in your hand to punish ABC. That is government. The Bible says the government does not hold the sword in vain. It's to punish offenders of laws. You get what I'm saying here? So government must say these people who that are here, disturbing traffic all the time, not just empowering some boys who themselves will turn to anathema at the end of the day. You know, those guys, like we said, people must feed. When you give them one bus, go around in the name of task force, we have heard their stories here and there. You know, the people you want to attack, they are your own people. They are your citizens. They are the people you are governing. Until you do what you're supposed to do, you equally lack the morality to vacate them. That's a part of the issue. But for us, we are just looking at the risk aspects. Because vehicle can come, run into you, and at the end of the day, somebody come, oh, you vehicle, you kill our person. Begin to burn down the vehicle. If the hand can get to the driver, they kill the driver and some of that. You just complicate issue for society. So we are just looking at that area, the risk content, that because of the risk involved, people are too close to the road, the vehicle can run into you people and all that. But beyond that, for government to take them from the road, which I support, they must leave the road. But government must see them as the people for which I am in government.
Government has to do what it has to do. Maybe an alternative for these traders so that they do not end up on the roads. But most often than not, we have seen that even around the markets, those who have shops in the market still end up displaying their goods by the roadsides. And the question is, why are they doing all of this? Are they not comfortable selling inside? Is it just that we want to be defiant or something else?
Nigeria is a jostling society. People jostle to earn a living. So if I have taken a shop, I paid 100, 200,000 at the end of the year, then somebody is in my front there who is not even paying, just settling community people with 5,000 or 3,000. And all the customers who are supposed to come to me, he's not taking all of them. So how do I pay my shop, not to talk of my own living? So I have to bring out of my goods too. Let us compete out there. Those have become part of the issues. Otherwise, the government will give the shop to stay. As the government come to say, you are an illegal person, you live here. Has the government done that? No, government has not done that. So because government has not done that, I will not remain in the shop, and you expect me to feed my family. You don't pay me salary at month end to feed my family, to pay for your rent. And at the end of the day, somebody is taking the entire market from me. So all of us must come and jostle for the markets. So it's part of it.
Well, I strongly believe that, like Goodluck Edafe has said, maybe the government will show more seriousness to ensuring discipline in our markets so that everyone can be orderly and make provision for those who are going to leave the Badagry Expressway following this directive by the government so that they do not end up being jobless and not having anything to do to sustain their families, especially not in this economy. But let's look at our next issue. The authorities of the Federal University of Agriculture at Abeokuta have warned students of the institution not to disrupt academic activities following protests on dress code policy. The institution, in a statement issued by its registrar, Dr. Bola Adekola, reiterated its dress code compliance for students and emphasizing the security implications of allowing individuals who cannot be facially identified on campus. Adekola, on behalf of the university management, stated that the dress code has been in existence since 2017. saying that violators of the dress code would face sanctions in accordance with the essence rules and regulations of the university. The statement also refers to a minor incident that occurred on the morning of September 11, 2023 at the university ceremonial gate, where some protesters purportedly operating under the guise of religion disrupted academic and business activities. The university considered this disruption a violation of the rights of other individuals within the campus and its environment. The statement therefore assured the university community that the management has addressed the situation and mercy has been restored to the campus since 8:45 a.m., emphasizing that there was no cause for alarm and that academic and business activities had resumed. Now, in recent times, we've seen several institutions come up with dress codes, and we've seen kickbacks from students and the wider community, people saying, I mean, this is a tertiary institution, why should we have dress codes? Others saying, well, it is a good thing, the rate of indecent dressing is becoming alarming, and so we should have some form of dress code to check all of these anomalies. But do you think students have the right to protest when their institutions instills dress codes for them?
Frankly speaking, they don't have any rights. You know, the term right, nowadays we abuse it in Nigeria. People talk about right. The certificate the university gives to you, you say worthy in learning and in character. And today, all of us, we are blaming, one, we are blaming the family. We are blaming the schools, the institutions. We are blaming government, and we are equally blaming the religious bodies that they are no longer doing what they ought to do. Their gospel have changed from what it used to be to what romances the will of the people, not what it ought to be. So, a university you have gone to, you went there to study, not for fashion show. You didn't go to university for fashion. You go there, you put your shares, some of the clothes here, they are, you see hole here, one big hole here, you just cover here, then the back here is open, and all that. Some you just draw it to the up here, and all. What kind of dressing is that? I will not give you a certificate. You can't even do that in my school if I were to have a school. Because if you have come to my school, it must occur to you that you've come here to get knowledge. Knowledge of the profession that you have come here to study. That is one. The knowledge of how to be responsible in society. You can't be a graduate and you are reckless in your dressing, you are reckless in your utterances, you are reckless in all areas of life. And you are just, you say you feel you have a right. Which right is that? To dress naked in public, that is what you call a right. So for me, the university should be more decisive. You can't have a law since 2017 and up to date you are not implementing it. It's what is happening in Nigeria. We have many laws. We don't keep it. In Rivers State here, we have anti-grazing law. Till today, even in the street of Podako, Nama is still moving about. So that is the structure of our society. Laws are just there for fun. Maybe they say we are doing something in the office. Otherwise, who is there?
If you think that the students do not have the right, we know that these are adults. These are people who are living on their own, and they have the right to their lives.
Yes.
So why can't I dress the way I want to dress with my life?
Yes, your life. My Anita, my good host, in this office, you have a right. But I've never seen you exercise that right in the manner you dress. Don't you think you have a right to do so in this office?
Maybe I've not decided to do so.
Oh, you've not decided to do so. So, the truth of the matter is that your rights end where another man's rights begin. And the university is telling you, as far as you are here, I am your father, I am your mother. If anything happens to you here, society will call on me. The first person, if you see what is happening in your school, is it not? To have rights, to keep you the way I want to keep you. I must not fail in that duty. to make sure you are decent, to make sure when you leave this school, you'll be a good ambassador. I have gone to social school and look at the impartation of that school in my life. That's my priority. I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to do anything evil to you. But I say be decent in your manner of dressing. After all, when you are decent, in those days when you see decent ladies, those are the people some good guys run after. You understand? Is it nowadays when you see some boys will go and lace, put earrings on their ears, you braid your hair, you are a man, you braid your hair and on that. Those are the kind of style they think they have. These are the kind of civilization they think they have. And that's what they call their rights. Every society has defined values. It's unfortunate we have lost our own. We have lost our own. And I've told several lawyers that when people go to court and people just say, oh, my law, this is to defend your client. This is to defend your client. Yes, you have a duty to defend your client, no doubt about that. But whatever you are doing, defending your clients, you must recognize the value of society. You don't define a client at the expense of the values of society. You are not practicing law. Because law is meant to protect the values of society. So you are defending your client. You must defend your client within the limits of the law. Not where you know your client is a big criminal and supposed to be in jail and you are manipulating, bribing A, bribing B, so that you can set your client free. That is not law. So for me, the university is doing their work.
All right, I hope that students, in fact, it even amuses me to know that, upon the offer of provisional admission, they give you certain documents to sign, and almost every student does that. Maybe they do not read that part of that is that you will obey the rules and regulations of that institution. Well, it's a good thing that normalcy have been restored, and we hope that this wouldn't come up again. We'll go on a very short break, and we will be right back. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Society watching Atlantic Television Network, and our next issue is from the Federal University of Oyo Ekiti. The federal government has ordered the security agencies, a Vice Chancellor of Federal University Oyo Ekiti and National Universities Commission to ensure that comprehensive investigation is done and killers of Miss Deborah Atanda, a female student of 4 years, are arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the law of their land. Minister of Education, Professor Tahiru Maman, gave the directive on Monday in Abuja while speaking at the 2021 and 2022 Nigerian Annual Education Conference. He described as heart-wrenching the mother of a 200-level student of the Federal University of Oyo Ekiti from the Department of Nursing, who was found dead after on discovery that she was buried in a shallow grave behind her department's lecture hall. Maman extended his condolences to the deceased family, restating that the perpetrators of the horrendous act would not be spared. Now, when this news broke, the internet went agog. Everyone was really worried how a 200-level student who went into a classroom to read was killed and buried behind the classroom in a very shallow grave. Now, we've talked about issues of insecurity in our tertiary institutions lately, and it seems like it keeps getting worse. Now, this is the height of it. What's your take on the federal government's call for the security agencies, the Vice Chancellor, the Universities Commission to make sure that the perpetrators of these acts are brought to book?
Well, it's a usual call. It's just what we have said now.
Why do you think it's a usual call?
It's a usual call now. Whatever things like the one, the DPO that was, there was also a call to make sure the perpetrators of the act are brought to book. So it's a usual call in our society.
So what do you make of the calls? Do you think those calls are just formalities and nothing comes out at the end of the day?
No, obviously something will come out.
Okay.
But what I'm concerned about is that this our afterthought approach all the time. It's not good for our society at this level of development. We are not proactive. A government should be proactive. You understand? Because the way our society is going today, we just see fellow human being like a fowl. We kill human being like you are killing a rat. You know? Kill human being like you. And at the end of the day, now this young girl that was just killed now, the killers, what was the issue? Is it because she refused love advances or what? What is the basis for it? Or what did they take anything from her? If to say maybe they are ritualists or that, is there anything like that?
Yeah, I think her eyes were plucked out.
Eyes were plucked out. It's unfortunate that people really want to become millionaires in our country, but they don't want to follow the path of honor. It's the biggest issue in our society today. You see small boys want to drive cars of 14, 15 million. You understand? That car you want to drive requires hard work. But today, what do we do when we see any young man who comes with a very flashy car? Oh, you have arrived, you have made it. That's what we tell them. We don't ask questions. That the life of 1970, 1980 is better than life of 1923 in Nigeria. Tells you that something big is wrong with our society. Every society move forward. What we say move forward? In terms of technology, in terms of science, in terms of medicine, in terms of morals, in terms of attitude, all put together. So we can't say we are developing, we are advancing, and your citizens are being killed like a fowl from time to time. No proactiveness. The way we police today is still the same way we police in 1980. The attitude has not changed.
But if you say the way we police today is still the way we police in the 1980s, within those periods, were there incessant stories like this?
Because as at that time, there were values. It's what I've told you now. As at 1980, there were values. When we were secondary school, do we know anything like courtesy? When we were secondary school, courtesy. Do we have any idea of any, say, courtesy? You have a group here, you have a group here. Do you have something like that? So the government is not developing with the level of society, the level of crime in society. A government should be able to see in society the dimension of crime in society. A government should be able to be ahead of it. But today in Nigeria, crime is always ahead of us. You know, so when it's happened, you say bring the perpetrator to book and the one who is killed is killed. It's gone.
It's very pathetic. I'm personally worried because I understand what most students go through. There are students who do not enjoy reading in the library. There are students who want to read in classrooms. Yeah. And it's obtainable in almost every tertiary institution that you go out to classrooms, even at very late at night, and you still find people reading. Now, if such a thing can happen in a classroom, on a campus that is supposed to be manned by security men. I mean, we have manowars and sheriff deputies in almost all the institutions, and if such a thing happened successfully and they succeeded in burying her, what's the hope for the students who are going to read?
Now, let me be the interviewer for 1 minute by asking you this question. Yeah, so for such an act, as you mentioned, to take place in a classroom, was it the only girl that was in the classroom? What do you take of that? Simply that the culture of reading is gone. Otherwise, if we were to be in some years back, you will see the classroom full. with students, even if we even half. So if the classroom has students, 10, 20, 30 students who are academically conscious, they want to build themselves intellectually, academically, that crime cannot take place.
Now, I also think on the other way around, that it's not just because the culture of reading is gradually dying, but also because of security. Because as an undergraduate, I had conversations with a whole lot of people, and they'll tell you, well, my parents said we shouldn't go to the classrooms to read. Read in your rooms. I read in my room. Or most of it, I go to the library. So others read in their rooms because they were scared of what would happen. We've heard incidents where people will go for night classes or even day classes just to read, get their phones stolen, get their money stolen. And so people are scared of all of these things.
But it should not be to that level where only one person will be in a classroom. Because from this scenario, it looks as if she's the only one there. And that was why the crime was successfully carried out. Although if you have up to 5 persons, 10 in that classroom, it becomes, like you said, it could be only, okay, well, how much you have there? Bring your money, or bring your phone. It could be at that level. But to say, and when it is at that level, then you now blame it on the security system of the school. You understand? But to the extent of murdering, killing somebody, then not just killing the person, you carry the person, you dig, without nobody in the vicinity. It tells you, to a very large extent, that people today are no longer interested in reading. The issue of reading in my room and library, just like a lawyer looking for a means to defend his client in the court. Because we know all those things. We are very familiar with the university system. You understand? Sometimes I organize tutorial, but I have to end it. I mentioned it to you before. I have to end it because of my experience with the student. So the level of reading is gone down, and that is why things like this can actually happen. But again, the security system, the university of today should beef up security within. They have security men everywhere anyway. But like we said, there's what we call work attitude. Nigeria has not developed work attitude. It's key in every society, work attitude. That I'm employed to do a job. How much of interest do you put on that job? What Nigeria with, how much do they pay me? I go die for work. What have you worked that I want to die for work? So it's our attitude. So we must develop work attitude. Whether it is 10 naira you are being paid, whether it is 20 naira, since you have accepted it, do the work until you will resign to say, okay, I will not do again. Than to remain on the job, spoiling the job, and you are saying, how much am I being paid? If the salary is not enough for you, resign and go to your house.
Work attitude. And something again that Mr. Duffy said, he said if they were, say, about 4 or 5, the highest that could have happened would have been maybe taking their phones and money, and the young lady wouldn't have died. So I would think if you are going to read in a classroom at any time of the day, do make sure you're not going alone. Try not to be alone for security reasons. And we hope that the schools are going to be for security and that the perpetrators of these dastardly acts are going to be brought to book. Well, this is a much to take on the program. Thank you so much. Good luck, Daffy, for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
And thank you, our viewers, for being out there. I am Anita Obari. If you missed anything, you can follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1. Do remember that peace and